I thought my daughter had found the perfect man, but when I secretly became his driver, I uncovered a shocking truth that changed everything. Watch until the end.
My name is Michael Anderson. I live in Austin, Texas. For most people, I was known as the founder of a successful construction company worth millions of dollars. But to my daughter Emma, I was simply Dad. Emma was 28 years old, smart, kind, and independent. 3 months earlier, she had announced her engagement to a young marketing executive named Ryan Walker. Everyone loved Ryan. He was charming, polite, well-spoken, the kind of man who knew exactly what to say. My wife adored him. My friends admired him. Even Emma couldn't stop talking about how lucky she felt. But something about him never sat right with me. I couldn't explain it. Whenever Ryan spoke to Emma, his smile seemed rehearsed. His compliments sounded practiced, like an actor reading from a script. Yet I had no proof. And without proof, I kept my concerns to myself. One morning everything changed. A business project took me downtown. Because my luxury SUV was in the shop, I borrowed one of our company's older vehicles. Nothing special, just an ordinary black sedan. No company logos, no expensive appearance. I looked like any regular driver. As I stopped near a coffee shop, I noticed Ryan standing outside looking frustrated. His car had broken down. He was desperately trying to find transportation. Before I could think twice, he flagged me down. "Hey, can you take me downtown?" He didn't recognize me. I had only met him a handful of times. Usually at family dinners where I wore expensive suits. Now I wore jeans, sunglasses, and a baseball cap. I simply nodded. Sure. Ryan climbed into the back seat. Not once did he look at me carefully. That day I drove him to work. The next morning his car was still being repaired. Again he called for a ride. Again he didn't recognize me. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And somehow I became his regular morning driver. Each ride taught me more about him. At first he seemed friendly. Then I noticed patterns. He often bragged on phone calls. He mocked coworkers. He exaggerated stories. He lied about small things. Nothing serious, but enough to make me uncomfortable. Still, none of it justified interfering with Emma's relationship. Then came the morning that changed everything. It was a rainy Tuesday. Traffic was heavy. Ryan sat in the backseat speaking quietly on the phone. At first I wasn't paying attention. Then I heard Emma's name. Immediately my focus sharpened. Ryan laughed. "Trust me," he said. "Once we're married, everything changes." A pause. Then another laugh. "No, she has no idea." My stomach tightened. I listened carefully. Ryan continued. "Her father is worth more than anyone realizes." Another pause. "Exactly. That's why I'm playing the long game." I felt my hands grip the steering wheel. The long game? What did that mean? Ryan kept talking. "After the wedding, I'll convince her to invest with me. Then we'll gradually move assets into a new company." He laughed again. "By the time anyone notices, I'll be in control." My heart pounded. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But the worst part was still coming. His friend apparently asked whether he loved Emma. Ryan's response made my blood run cold. "Love?" He chuckled. "She's a good person. That's enough." I felt anger rising inside me. Not because he didn't love my daughter. People can't force feelings. But because he was using her. Manipulating her. Treating her future like a financial opportunity. The call ended. Ryan never noticed my reaction. I drove silently. That evening I couldn't sleep. I replayed every word, every sentence, every laugh. Yet I knew one conversation wasn't enough. Emma was deeply in love. If I confronted her now, she might think jealousy or overprotectiveness was clouding my judgment. I needed proof. Real proof. Over the next several weeks I paid close attention. Ryan became increasingly comfortable during our rides. He believed I was invisible. One morning he discussed hidden debts. Another day he bragged about dating wealthy women in college. Then he revealed something even more disturbing. He had secretly signed business agreements he planned to present to Emma after marriage. Not before, after. That told me everything. A loving partner values transparency. A manipulator values control. I hired a private investigator. Within days more truths emerged. Ryan owed significant money. He had misrepresented parts of his employment history. Several former business partners described him as dishonest. One even called him dangerous. The evidence continued piling up. Each discovery broke my heart. Not because of Ryan. Because of Emma. She genuinely loved him. She imagined a future with him. A home. Children. A lifetime together. How could I destroy those dreams? Yet how could I stay silent? Eventually I made a decision. I invited Ryan to dinner. Just the two of us. No Emma. No distractions. When he arrived, he smiled confidently. "Mr. Anderson, it's great to see you." I smiled back. "Please sit." For several minutes we talked casually. Business. Sports. Weather. Then I placed a folder on the table. His smile disappeared. "What is that?" I slid it toward him. "Open it." Slowly he did. Inside were copies of investigator reports. Debt records. Statements. Documents. Evidence. Page after page. The color drained from his face. He looked terrified. "Where did you get this?" I leaned forward. "That's not the important question." He swallowed hard. "Then what's the important question?" I looked directly into his eyes. "The important question is why." Silence filled the room. For nearly 30 seconds neither of us spoke. Finally Ryan sighed. The confident mask vanished. He looked exhausted, defeated. "I grew up poor." I remained silent. "My family struggled every day." Still silent. "I promised myself I'd never be poor again." His voice cracked. "And somewhere along the way, I became obsessed with money." I listened carefully. For the first time he seemed honest. No performance. No charm. No manipulation. Just truth. Ryan admitted everything. The lies. The plans. The financial schemes. All of it. Then he surprised me. "I'm ending the engagement." I blinked. "What?" He nodded. "Emma deserves better." Part of me expected anger. Denial. Excuses. Instead he looked ashamed. The next day Ryan met Emma. Their conversation lasted hours. There were tears, questions, pain. When it ended, the engagement was over. Emma was devastated. For months she struggled. I worried constantly. Had I done the right thing? Eventually time answered that question. 1 year later Emma launched her own nonprofit organization helping disadvantaged children. She poured her energy into meaningful work. She rebuilt her confidence. She discovered who she was outside the relationship. Then she met someone new. His name was Daniel Brooks. A school principal. Honest. Kind. Respectful. Unlike Ryan, Daniel never cared about money. Never cared about status. He cared about people.
The first time Daniel visited our home, he spent an hour talking with my wife about gardening. Another hour helping me fix a broken fence. No agenda, no performance, just genuine character. 2 years later, Daniel proposed. This time I felt peace, not because he was perfect, no one is, but because he was authentic, and authenticity matters. At their wedding, Emma walked down the aisle smiling brighter than I had seen in years. As I watched her begin a new chapter, I thought back to that rainy Tuesday morning. The ride, the phone call, the secret conversation. One ordinary moment had changed everything. Sometimes the people who reveal their true selves don't realize anyone is listening. Sometimes the biggest truths are discovered when someone believes they're invisible. And sometimes a father's greatest responsibility isn't protecting his daughter's happiness, it's protecting her future. Even when doing so breaks her heart for a little while.
Because temporary pain can prevent lifelong regret. As the wedding ceremony ended and Emma embraced her new husband, I realized something important. That rainy morning hadn't destroyed her future. It had saved it.